If someone asked you what is one of the most common problems facing humans today, would you be able to answer and say that it's chronic pain? And then if you gave that answer, would you be able to even give a solution towards it? Would you take the big pharma route? Or would you listen to Rob over at the QE Strong team, really, where they focus on quantum energy? And if you're somebody like me, you've heard that term time and time again. You paid attention in class. You even probably passed the test, but you still can't put it into words as to what it is. And Rob is even someone who's been working in this field for quite some time. And even he admitted to sometimes having a hard time being able to explain it. But what Rob does not have a hard time doing is really just being able to help people, being able to educate people, and then being able to strengthen your faith all in the same process. So with that, I have these patches here. So these, clarity and focus. I have pain, but I also have for you 14 other products focusing on things from blood sugar to allergies to even helping animals. But it does not just stop there, as they are always experimenting, always just figuring out what's new, what's improved, and they love feedback. So here's what I need you to do. Two things. One, visit QE Strong, QEstrong.com. Find the product that works best for you. Check out. And then when you check out, use code D, the number 2, and then B. So D2B, and enjoy that 15% off. But secondly, I need you to enjoy episode 157, Shift Your Energy.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner. So, first and foremost, shout out to Rob. Shout out to the team over at QE Strong. We were doing some talking before this episode, and he's already got me excited. He's already got me amped, really for two reasons. One, because as I even spoke about in one of my previous episodes, I always appreciate when people are about their business, about their time, and everything like that. And I hate when I feel like I've wasted others' time, just because I take time very seriously. It's something that on here I've even had to not follow up with some people on the podcast because I took it personally that my time was wasted and things like that. But Rob was someone who was very understanding of just my schedule and things that I had going on unexpectedly, and he was more than willing to reschedule. He had sent me the products and everything. So you guys are going to see everything that's happening. But nonetheless, as I was saying, we were talking before this episode, and this affiliate program that we're about to get into, man, look, I'm telling y'all now to tap into it, but I'm going to tell you all throughout the episode, you'll really see why and what benefit it could be to you, to someone you know, family, friend, mutual, coworker, anything of the sort. So very excited to be sitting down with Rob today on behalf of QE Strong for him to let y'all know everything that they have going on, how you can even become a part of it, join the affiliate program if that's something you're interested in. But even if not, how you can learn something today, even pick up a new product and even do something to really contribute to your health and your wellness just the same. So Rob, how you doing today? How's everything with you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic, Tamar. So it's so exciting to be here, and it's awesome to meet you in person finally.
I
I'm
love
excited.
being able to put names with faces and email and everything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. So I
Me.
know we're going to have some people tapping in from the QE Strong side. I know the D2B side, they're coming, they're going to show love. But I also know along the way, the beauty of the podcast, it allows us to meet so many different people, so many different newcomers, so many people just who may be avid podcast listeners, and one day they click ours. So to put everybody on the same page,
Right.
to really give everybody the best of background information, can you, one, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then can you, two, just tell us what brings you on the Down to Business podcast today?
You bet, you bet. So I have a really interesting background. So when I was young, I was an athlete, and I was a runner, and I kind of happened upon a running. My brother was 4 years older than I, and he was running one of those fun runs, like a 10K fun run. And I was young. I was really young. I was probably maybe 8 or 9 years old, and we went to this fun run, and I was in my long pants and shirt, and my brother's running around, and I see this little kid out there, and he's all like got his singlet on, and he's got his running shorts on and his shoes, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't know, kids my age actually did this. And kind of funny, long story, I'll make it short, but I said, hey mom, I said, can I run this? And she's like, what? And it was a 10K is like 6 miles, right? She's like, you've never run, 100 yards, let alone 6 miles. And I said, yeah, I want to try it. So because that young kid, I said, in my mind, I'm like, hey, if that kid can do it, I can do it too. And so I ended up doing that run, and I ended up beating that young boy, and it was just like, wow, I actually might be decent at this. And so I started running a lot, and then grew up, through high school. Made the Won a national cross country championship in middle school, and so I was pretty darn good runner. But one of the things that I attested to my running was I read a book called Eat to Win. And that book really transformed me because it was all about what you put in your body fuels your body. And so I learned really on how important nutrition was to physical activity and health. And then I ended up getting a scholarship to a D1 school and college, and was my goal in life was to be a professional runner. So I'm doing well. I just made the U.S. junior team, which is 19 years and younger. I was the second best miler in the country. And then that winter, I was out on a training run, and my life changed forever. I was out on that training run, and I got hit by a truck. And so I was out, and it's wintry roads, and the truck slid right into my hip and threw me 36 feet, and I landed on my face. And it was just super traumatic because I'm really blessed to be here, because during earlier in that run, I'd had a bloody nose, and my buddy knew that I had the bloody nose. But when when I hit the ground, I was knocked unconscious. So I'm laying on the ground. I'm, could breathe, but then I stopped breathing because the bloody nose clogged my throat. So it was really dangerous. So if it wasn't for my buddy being there to unclog my throat, I would have died. So, I know after that God has me on this earth for a reason. And I struggled with what that purpose was, because I wanted to be a runner so bad. That was my goal in life, was to do that. But I did get a decent education, and I went into sales. And to make another really long story short, I'd been doing sales, enterprise sales, selling software for many years. Then the pandemic hit, and the pandemic hit. All the salespeople, at least a large majority of them, lost their jobs because we couldn't go out and travel and meet people because there was no travel. So we ended up losing our jobs. I was trying to figure out what to do and where to go, and so I started helping my brother with a podcast, kind of like yours, Tamar, where is like helping with the back end and helping him with his email list and stuff like that, and his website. And then we had this idea. We're like, hey, why don't we craft some supplements? Because my brother's audience, it's a faith-based audience, and his audience is probably 50 plus older women, and so mature women, I guess I should say, is a better word, right? And so I'm like, I'll go craft. Our first idea was to craft some supplements. Like, let's go help them with their health, since I kind of was going back to my original, passion in life, was just running and health. And I'm like, hey, I know that what you put in your body really can help transform you because of what I did when I was young. And so that's what we said we would do. We're going to go find supplements and help people. And so I found this guy who's awesome. He's going to help me craft these cool supplements. And then he came to me and said, hey, have you heard about quantum energy before? I'm like, what? Quantum what? Like, no, I've never heard of that. Have you heard of quantum energy before, Tamar?
Yes, but if you ask me to give you a definition or tell you what it is, are you going to stop me right there in my tracks?
Right. I even have a difficult time with the definition, and I've been studying it like crazy for a couple of years now. So don't let that bother you. But it's really crazy. So I said no, and then he said, well, let me introduce you. So I ended up meeting this awesome man, an awesome man of God as well, and he just he educated me on what he was doing, and I just thought, man, that sounds really weird, right? I was like, this sounds just strange. I'm not sure if I believe in this. But what had happened with the pandemic is I really started doing research on our health industry. And I was really dismayed in that I learned a lot of things about how, in my opinion, our medical system had kind of been taken over in the early 1900s. So when I was doing this research, I was like, oh my gosh, like back in the early 1900s, about 50% of our doctors were holistic doctors, right? And holistic doctors being people that are going to treat you with food and with herbs and medicine and just natural things, not just pharmaceutical medicine. And then the more I researched about it, it was really disheartening to what has happened to our medical industry. And so right now, the number of all natural doctors is like in the, you know, one percentile, if that. It's probably not even close to that. So they just decimated the all natural health market, and then they started the medical system and the medical schools that only taught pharmaceutical based medicine. And they didn't teach. They literally. Have you heard of the term quack before, Tamar?
Hmm.
Haven't you heard of quack?
I,
It's like, oh man, you're a
I
quack.
well, when you put it like that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that is ringing some bells for me. Feel like
Yeah, and you're probably too young
and I
to
might be that. I
remember
might
it,
be
but
thinking of something totally different. You're right.
but people my age have heard of the term quack, and that a lot of like chiropractors and doctors like that were termed quacks. And what I ended up finding out is it was literally an attack on the all natural health system, where they were doing lawfare against these doctors who were teaching all natural health solutions, and they would vilify them. They'd call them a quack, and then they would sue them for helping people without going through the medical system. And so it was really really sad, and what happened to the all natural health providers back then. And then that term quack really bugs me, just because it's so sad to see how they vilified that, use that name as a term. So anyway, as I was doing all this research on the medical system, and I was just like, my gosh, this is horrible. So I was trying to find these all natural solutions that help people, and guess what? The Lord led me like to these quantum energy products. I was like, wow. So I literally am here for a reason, and I think he got me here to help people with all natural solutions to help them with their health problems. And so it's really fun and challenging that we've built these amazing products and solutions that are helping people with common health issues. And then we're trying to figure out a way to market it in a way that I think your listeners will really like, just because we've the main way we're doing it is through these types of relationships, right? So I'm working with like you to talk about and educate people on our product, because the medical system doesn't want us to have it out there, so we can't go through the normal advertising means as easy as we can to have one-on-one conversations with people, right? So we have these podcasts that are on, and then we have an amazing affiliate program that we'll talk about that really help you. It helps me, and it helps the customer. So it's like a win-win-win. And just all the people who are interested in doing business, it's a good way to grow your company. And so I'm excited to talk through just the business model and how I've done that, and how that's helping my company grow in a sustainable way, and it's a profitable way, and a way that everybody wins, right? I win, the customer wins, and the affiliate wins. So there's really no downside for any of us. And it's an exciting way to grow the company. But at the end of the day, our heart is to really help people get off of big pharma drugs. So I feel like I've just thrown up all over you tomorrow, and just talked and talked and talked. So
Well, one, that's the purpose of you being here. This is your show. This is your interview. While this is the Down to Business podcast, and I'm the host, this is about you today. It's about Rob. It's about QE
uh,
Strong, and I feel like you really just did this interview that much more justice. You really just did the company and the brand and the mission behind everything that much more justice, because it's that one that was beautiful. While definitely there was a
thank
lot
you.
of trauma in there, there was
Yeah,
moments of you realizing, wow, I'm here for a reason, but what is that? And
yeah,
that's not always the easiest process to be here, to be what you felt like was in your purpose at that time, running and just you
yeah.
loving it. This starting as you just asking your mom, hey, can I go do that? And then this really turned
Right.
into a passion, a fuel to your fire. But then to be
Exactly.
taken away from that, to be taken away from that, and
Yeah,
it's something that's
it
out of
was
your control.
devastating. Yeah,
Absolutely.
man, it felt like I'd been run over, like by not only by the truck, but it just felt like my whole life had been run over. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just, why am I here? You get to that point where you're just devastated, and you think your life has ended, and guess what? God has a plan.
Right.
You woke up today, you have breath in your lungs. God has a plan for you. You know,
Absolutely.
you're not done. So that's what I'm really excited about now is that, man, I'm on a mission, and no one can stop me. I'm just going to keep going, and I'm super excited to help people. And I'm really passionate about it, as you can tell. And
Absolutely.
I just excited to share that, because these are really helping people, and it's helping, and that's the whole goal, right? It's just help people. One of my brother, who's a good, he's been my mentor for a long time. He had two of his best friends commit suicide from the opioid epidemic. Right, so they were really intelligent, educated, smart people. So it doesn't matter, what class you are, doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter anything. It's just these medications that people are on are just horrible. And the opioid one obviously is a huge problem in our country. And then just one of the things I thought was interesting, what I found out too, is just chronic pain in individuals is one of the most common problems that people have, is just chronic pain. And that's horrible too. It's like, gosh, how can we help people? So that's why I'm so excited with QE Strong. Our marquee product is a pain relief product, and it's just helping thousands of people, and help them get off of those big pharma drugs. So
And this is really something that's right up my alley. So I actually stopped taking pills back in 2019, like
good
Advil,
for you.
Tylenol, anything of the sort. So haven't nothing like that has entered my body, with the exception of last year when I had to take some antibiotics for a surgery that I had, and that threw
Right,
me way
right.
off. Like, it just threw me all the way off. But whenever doctors ask me about painkillers or anything of the sort, I always tell them no, just because I really just started paying attention to my body, my habits, my sleeping, my diet, my water intake, light exposure, everything. Because I was someone growing up, I loved to be outside, and naturally, I began to suffer from migraines a lot just from playing sports and
Ah,
everything.
right,
And
right.
so that was tough for me. But once I really realized the holistic approach to things, the even sometimes just the physical approach, just how, like, if you really just hone in, oh, did I eat today? How long was I out in the sun? Did I have enough water to combat with my body, how much of it already is made up of water, but in the sun and just losing all those nutrients and that water and that energy, paid attention. So the more that I really just, and even one day I really just turned around the back of a pill bottle, and I couldn't tell you a
Ah,
single ingredient that was in there. And then I come to find out, you hear these commercials all the time, and you may take, or you may have a medication for this or for that. But once you start taking it and you hear the side effects are sometimes 100 times worse than why you
dude,
even began.
yeah,
And that was one
it's
of the biggest things
insane.
for me, right? And so
Get
once
the,
I really got that, that was all it took for me. So one day I really just threw everything away and haven't looked back since. So I really love this approach. I really love this energy, because this is really what people need. And that's not to say that everybody out there, I'm just judging you or anything. For I understand
no, no,
Big
no.
Pharma
Get
has an agenda just the same, but I understand that some things have to be controlled, some things have to be modified, some things have to be approached differently. But all I ask is that within this, everybody just keeps an open mind, because, like you said,
Yeah,
there got to certain points where you didn't really know why. You knew that the Lord kept you here, you knew that you were waking up every day, but you couldn't quite put your finger on what the purpose was, what was really going on, what was happening. And then
yeah,
this quantum energy, and it took you really not knowing anything about it. And still to this day, sometimes it can be such an umbrella term that you can't really pinpoint one thing. But from there, you found your purpose. And I really think that's the beauty just in life. That's the beauty with business ownership, creator, just being in a creative space. It allows you to kind of mix and mingle a little bit. It allows you to be one path here, one path for a few years, and then it allows you to move around a little bit. It allows you
right.
to kind of zigzag, and it's not always straight and narrow. As much as we want it to be, as much as you want it to be that runner, that professional, that Hall of Famer, all time and everything, it just wasn't
Yeah,
for you. That purpose and that
exactly.
time that you dedicated towards that was what you needed. So now, thinking about QE Strong, for everybody tapping in, for everybody who has no idea about what's going on, for everybody, when you said quantum energy and it just went right over their heads.
Right,
When it
right,
comes
right,
to the
right.
products, even some of the ones that I see sitting in the back right now, what are you guys actually offering? When we hear people talk about holistic and just the approach to things and really just paying attention to the body, to self, what can they expect when tapping in with QE Strong and going to the website, when scrolling through affiliate program, everything? What are some of the things that y'all are using that are all natural, that people that have really been bringing relief to all these people?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it. So it's really exciting what we've done. What we've done is we've harnessed the positive intentions and frequencies, and the healthy frequencies. Because if you look around us, right, frequencies are everywhere. And so you use your cell phone, right? How does a cell phone work? It communicates to a tower, right? And it uses a frequency to communicate to the tower. You listen to the radio, right? You're going down the road 65 miles an hour, and you change the dial. You're changing what are you changing? The frequency. And so you can listen to another station, right? So frequencies are not strange, they're not weird, they're all over the place, and they're all around us. And so what I learned is our body is made up of energy, and it interacts with those frequencies. So what's some really cool things that we found is you can harness those frequencies in a positive way, and the good frequencies, and then intentions, and even positive intentions, have a physical impact on other things. So I'll explain that in a minute as well. So we harness those things into a skin patch, and then we embed those onto the skin patch that you can apply to your body. And then when you apply it to your body, it connects to your energy system within a few seconds, and then it starts to work. And then what's really awesome is we have 14 different solutions. So we start a lot of people off with our pain product. So here's an example of it. So here's just a strip of seven patches. I've used 5 of them so far. So here's one that I'll put it on. So here's a little skin patch, and I can pull it off on my 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 little thing, and here we go. So here's this little patch, maybe a nickel size, right? But it's got the frequencies on it. I just put it on the back of my neck. You can literally put it anywhere. You can. My one brother puts it on his chest, another puts it on his elbow. You can really put them anywhere, because what's cool is since our body is made up of energy, it's kind of like putting your finger in electrified water, right? It doesn't matter if you put it at the front of the water or the back of the water. It's all electric, right? It's all going to shock you. So your body's made up of energy. So this patch connects to that energy system, and then what we've done some scientific studies where they have an EEG monitor. Have you seen those monitors that check people's brain waves? Here's a like this Muse 2 is a device we use that you can stick on your forehead, and it measures the brain waves. Then you can look at your iPhone app, and it actually shows your brain. It's really cool. You can see your brain waves. But what's awesome about this product is it connects to that energy system and then starts getting to work. So the key things are the frequency and the intentions that are put on it to help with the problem. So the pain relief one, for example, obviously relates to relieving pain, and so then after a few minutes, you're going to notice the pain being reduced. It's just really awesome. What's funny is when we work with people and we'll apply the product to them, and they're expecting this all of a sudden just like magic, right, to happen, and that's never how it works. It literally just all of a sudden starts gradually working within your body, and you'll see the EEG signal just start to even out, because when you're in pain, your brain's going, it's really going crazy because your body is dealing with a problem, and it hurts, and it just causes issues. And but then when your pain starts easing, the waves go smaller and more smooth. And then all of a sudden you'll be talking to somebody, and a few minutes later say, like, how's your elbow doing, if it was an elbow pain, and there's like, that's amazing. They're like, it's feeling better. They're just like, wow, that's so crazy. How did he do that? It's really neat. So these patches are awesome because they have no medicine in them. So nothing's going inside your body. It's just connecting to that energy system in your body. So we're helping people get off of big pharma drugs by reducing that amount of medicine they need to take. One of the things, I loved your story, by the way. It's like, it's awesome what you're doing. And one of the things I found through that research was that the average senior, guess how many prescriptions the average senior is on today?
If I had to take a guess, I would probably say 6.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a lot, right? But
Yeah.
it's double that. It's 12 to 14, depending upon the study that you read.
Wow.
So it's just ridiculous. So just imagine that. So you were going high, right? You were gonna guess high because the way I asked the question, you knew it was gonna be up there. but it's actually double that. It's just ridiculous. So people, because like you mentioned with the problem, why you're not taking them is the problem of, because people, we're all, our medical system is so specialized that you'll go get a pill for your ill. Maybe it's a heart condition, and that you'll get that heart condition fixed. But then guess what? Maybe the side effect causes something else. Then you go to a specialist for that something else, and that specialist fixes that problem. But guess what? That causes two more problems. And then you go to another specialist for that problem. It's just, by the time the average senior's around, playing chess or doing whatever they want to do. Maybe they're playing golf. Let's say that they're an active senior, right? But they're playing. They have 12 different medications they're on, and so we're just trying to help with that problem. Let's get people off of some of those, as many as we can. And let's use all natural health solutions. So these products we have pain relief, but then we literally have 14 different solutions. So these are just an example. We have anxiety relief, sleep relief. You have trouble sleeping. We have a weight loss one. We have a blood sugar one. Another really popular one this time of year is allergies. People have allergies, and it's pretty fun. One of the people that work with us is name's Dave Scarlett. He's his glory. He's a pastor, and he has this big field outside of his home, and he gets on one of those big tractors, right, to go mow the field, and mows it, and every time he gets done, he's got allergies, and his eyes are swollen and running, and he can hardly see. And we gave him a set of these patches, and he remembered after the fact that he's like, oh shoot, I should have tried that. So he put the patch on after, and it helped. So his eyes started getting better and doing. And the next time he went out, he's like, hey, I'm gonna take. And he put the patch on before he went out, and he mowed the field, came out, and he was perfectly fine. He's like, what? This is crazy. He's like, this is the coolest thing ever. So it's just really fun to see life transforming stories like that, where it's really helping people. And that's really our heart, is to do that. And another thing that I did want to mention, I think is really important for people to understand, is the power of your mind and the power of intentions. You mentioned this, Tamar. I think that was fantastic. I love the way you said that, because it's like you started paying attention to your body, and that you knew that you can command it to help you with certain things. I don't know if you said it that way, but I think that you said something similar, right? But what's cool is the intentions that you say do have a physical impact. So I want everybody listening to write down Dr. Emoto. So EMOTO, and do a quick YouTube search for Dr. Emoto's either water experiments or his rice experiments. And they're just the coolest thing, because what they do is he's proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that your intentions and words that you speak have a physical impact on an external item, whether it's rice or whether it's water. And when you see those experiments, it's so cool, because you literally see how it does. So we harness that power, and we put it onto that skin patch. And that's how what we call quantum energy is working. It's could be quantum realm, people call it. You can say all these really scientific weird words, or you can just think about it in the respect that it's a positive frequency and has intentions on it, and those connect to the energy system in your body to help you with certain medical conditions. And makes it a little bit more simple. It doesn't seem as weird, and it really works, and it's really helping a lot of people. So there you go.
I love it, man. I feel like with each answer, I can definitely just feel the passion, sense the excitement, and I'm picking up some of that from you right now. But no, to speak to that Dr. Emoto thing, so I haven't come across his teaching specifically. So now that's something that you just taught me again. But I have come across one where it was a plant experiment,
Yep.
and they were given one plant, like the positive energy, the positive words of affirmation, everything like that. They were given the other plant just like negativity, and the difference in them, I was just like,
dude, it's so cool.
It made me want to buy another plant just to contest it with my other. Now I try it. Yes, no, really, like not to say that I've even spoken about this on other episodes. I feel like a big when I first started the podcast back in like the pandemic era, like that 2019
Right.
state going into 2020, there was a lot of just talk around the word manifestation, and
Mm-hmm.
just a big speaking things into existence. I feel like it's something that we've heard all of our lives, but I feel like just that period of time was when I was really coming across it the most. And it's not to say that like I downplayed it. It's not to say that I doubted it or anything, but I personally never just participated in it.
Right.
But man,
Right.
when I was really listening to some of these stories about these people who would just speak things, even with the podcast, we've spoken about some things on the podcast that I followed up with these people years later or months later, and it's happened and it's done. And it was just like, well, we spoke about that. We did that. It's here now. So I say all of that to really say that manifestation, speaking things into existence, that energy, how you speak to yourself, what your thoughts are, man, it's very much real. It can really make or break your whole day. I tell people like I can tell when my mind is off because different ailments or different things of my body will just start to hurt or
Right.
just not perform the best way, or like I'll just be thrown off, or I'll be tired. I'll have just woken up from a nap or something and still be tired or still be drained, or just find myself getting an attitude quickly, or find myself not having an appetite. So it's really crazy, like the power of the mind.
The
And it's
power
really
of the
crazy,
mind
like
is,
you said,
yeah, it's so amazing.
when you it's but I love it though at the same time, right? Because when you're on that positive track, when you're on that positive just speech and thought and state of mind, man, you feel untouchable. You feel on the top of the world. You feel like you can do almost anything. So to really hear about y'all harnessing the energy, bringing everything together, all in the form of a patch, it's amazing. And to even hear, like you said, these life transforming stories, how people were dealing with things that the doctors just wanted them to keep coming back over,
Right.
keep refilling that prescription, keep doing like you said. You go to the doctor for one thing, you get that fixed. Oh, you got three other things now, or the chart said this, or the medicine is doing this, or don't take. Because even in these, if you think about these prescription commercials, excuse me, they say, well, don't take this if you're this, that. So it's already just like, wow. Well, if I had multiple problems, and a lot of these problems are common, I'm just eliminated
Right.
off the. I have to consult with my doctor, and then I consult with you, tell you I'm dealing with this. You give me something else,
That's right.
and then it's just like, wow, this is really just a never-ending cycle to keep you in that big pharma realm, and it's horrible. But to hear that I can get a patch, to hear that there's nothing in that patch that's going to physically enter like my bloodstream or make me feel weird, but the results are speaking for themselves. Rob, you got
It's
me.
awesome,
I'm
isn't
here.
it? It's real.
I love it so much.
It's really cool.
So,
Yeah. So you're
so
gonna
something
love
that
when you do that Dr. Emoto thing.
oh
So
yeah, I'm gonna
the
yeah,
plant thing, the rice one is you're gonna want to go do that experiment because it's
yeah,
so cool. I've
and I
not
got a
done
lot
it
of and I got a
myself,
lot of
but
rice.
he does that exact
I
same
got
thing with three different jars of rice. So
a lot of
he has
rice.
one that he speaks that he loves, and the other one that he speaks down to and negative and says I hate you, and the one he just
Yeah,
totally ignores. And then lots and lots of people have replicated his experiment. So it's really cool to see the people who've actually done it themselves, because it's like
I
the
love
one that he loves is basically after 30 days is white and looks, it's a little cloudy, but it's still white. The one that
it.
he's
Right.
been mean to and swears at and hates is just gross and moldy and disgusting, and the one that he ignored is just as bad as the one that he swears
That's
at.
the one
So,
that you just right.
it's so
Man,
cool.
I love that. I love I just love experiments. I love trial and error. I love everything like that. And so, really thinking about that, I saw that you just showed me a pamphlet now that has 14 different patches on
Right,
it.
right.
So I know that you didn't just pretty much come up with these patches. They worked the first time. It was what it was. And maybe in a perfect world, a couple of them did. A couple of
Yeah,
them passed
yeah.
and everything. But
It's
at
a
the
lot
end of
of
the day, you also had
experimentation. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about everything that y'all had to go through to really get QE strong to where it is today, to really get 14 different things that you highlight and tackle where they are. So, can you just give us a little bit of insight and outlook into that? What was the experimentation process like? What was the trial and error process like? What was it really like developing 14 different patches or 14 different things that can be used and the energy can be harnessed to help
Yeah,
others?
it's been a long process. So we've been doing this for a year and a half probably now, and early on it was let's do pain, right? Because there we knew the pain was a big problem. So let's start with a big problem. And I love about that product is it has, when you're in pain, right? So when you use the product, you're like, hey, okay, I'm no longer in pain. This actually worked. That when we have some other products that it's more difficult to understand whether it's helping you or not. So we have like an immune boost product. It's like, how do you know if the system is helping your immune system? It's really hard to decipher. And we have one that's like a clarity and focus one, which is awesome, by the way, because guess what the number one side effect of COVID is? Well, I don't know if it's the number one, but I know it is a really, really big side effect of COVID. I've got COVID, or I've had COVID. A lot of people have had
Right.
COVID, right? Millions of people have had it. But
Right.
one of the biggest symptoms or problems, side effects of having it is brain fog. And so brain fog, if you research, brain fog and COVID, you'll see that it's a really, really common problem where people they have a harder time thinking, have a harder time concentrating, and it gets frustrating. So we have this product that's called Clarity and Focus that just helps you be sharp, helps you think, helps you remember things, and it's just an awesome product. And a lot of young people are using it to help study and focus and do better on their exams and things. So it's a really, really cool product. So we've just come about and look, we find a problem, and then we're like, how could we solve that problem? And we'll start working on frequencies that work with that problem and how it affects the body. And we'll look at intentions that have it, and then we'll look even at Bible verses that are related to it, as we are a strong company of faith. So we believe in the connection to the Lord, and that speaking those, my my favorite thing would be for the Lord to heal people, right? That then they don't have to take any medicine, right? So that they wouldn't even have to take any of our product, which would be fine, right? I'd be super happy with that. But anyway, we take all those conditions, then we start doing trial and error with people, and then sometimes they're right on, right, and boom, it helps, and sometimes it's like that work. One of the things we're testing right now, and I'll let you know in a month or so of how well it does, but it's a buzz off product. So it's like to get rid of mosquitoes and get rid of bugs in an environment where there's I'm in Dallas. It's really humid here. There's lots of mosquitoes, and so we're trying this product. And since our bodies are made up of energy, if you can harness this and basically be a shield for your body, then theoretically we can make this work to keep bugs off of you. So this is the first one that's like more, it's not necessarily a health issue, but it's another product that we're super excited about. We'll see. But one of the other products that's super fun is a pet product. So it's what we call Pep and Pain. So we combine our pain relief product with our strength and stamina product for pets. So we have a little medallion that gets put on the dog collar. Just a silver round item, and then we put the Pep and Pain patch on the medallion on their collar, and so it connects to the pet, or dog or cat, or even works on horses and other things. But they put it on there and close to their body, and it relieves pain and gives them some peppiness. So it's awesome for older dogs, that are getting a little old and stiff, and you put that product on them, and they're like, "Hey, I don't feel as much pain, and I got some pep. Let's go." So it's pretty cool.
That is amazing. I look, and I will be the first to tell you if you need any volunteers for that buzz off product. Trust me, we got a lot. I was outside. I felt like for 2 minutes yesterday, and I came back in. My knees are itching. I'm just like, man, because I wear shorts everywhere
Right?
in
Well, yeah, of
Florida, man.
course.
From being at work, so it's just, and you can't. And I feel like being anywhere else, Philly, where I'm from, New York, where I was born, North Carolina, where I spent a lot of my life because I went to school there. Man, you can see the mosquitoes. You can see when it's happening. Like I can see it. In Florida, man, I can't see a thing out here. It's just like you never. I'm so worried about not stepping on the lizards and the geckos. We got all kind of birds and stuff like that. But these mosquitoes are just little by little, just
Right.
hit me. So look, I will be the first to tell you. I
All
volunteer as
right.
tribute. Whatever you
I'm
need,
gonna
you
send. I'm
can
gonna
do it.
send
But
you one. I like it. You have to
I
let me
love
know
to
how
hear.
it goes.
I love Please do. You'll get the honest and the best reviews, because if that can be
That
a
would be
game
a neat
changer
one,
for
wouldn't
sure.
it?
And that's something that I feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel like that, even along with the pets too, we have so many people here with animals, with pets, and sometimes the just taking them to the vet, that one, you having to foot that bill just to figure things out, and then everything not always being solved. And then just the things that come with old age, the things that come with dogs being so active, and their hips and the
Yeah.
ACLs and things already kind of just a little unorthodox. So I love to hear that you guys are experimenting in so many different avenues, so many different areas, because like you said, all of this energy, all of the things that y'all are doing,
It
it's real.
is.
It's in it, and
Yeah.
it's intention behind it, and it's things that can be changed. So now I want to rapid fire some questions
Awesome.
at
Let's
you real
go.
quick,
Let's go.
just to just educate myself and then get people there. All right. So first question: is there ever a such thing as having too many patches on at one
Yeah,
time?
that's an awesome question. And no, the only thing that is bad is if you have two that have differing. Um,
Okay.
so for
Gotcha.
example, you don't want the strength and stamina one and the sleep one at the same time.
And the sleep. All right. Okay.
Said you don't want to wear
Gotcha.
the strength and stamina one when you're going to bed. So so that's the only conflict is you don't want differing solutions. Does that
Gotcha.
make sense? But you literally can
Okay.
have four or five
Absolutely.
on at the same time.
And
Yeah.
one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. All right. Two. Are there an Is there an age requirement to be able to use these patches?
We don't market them towards younger children just because of the laws, and I don't even know what the laws are as it is a test to marketing it to children. So we just say it shouldn't affect anybody of any age, but it's up to the parents' discernment to try it. So theoretically, there is no age limit, but we're not going to market it to anybody other than an adult.
An adult. Makes sense. All right. Do different patches come with different time limits as to how long you keep them on? Is this just a result thing, or do they require hours, overnight? What
Yeah,
does
the
that
really
process look like?
interesting thing about that particular question is everybody's body's different and everybody's problem is different. So there's never the one answer to that question. It's all depends upon one, what is the problem, and then what is the cause of that problem. And then also, I believe that some of those problems are just not going to be, masked. For example, if it's a pain problem and you need to get it fixed, I don't think our product is going to help because, in my opinion, the Lord's like you need to get that fixed, right? Yes, you might be able to mask it to have a little bit better, less of a sharpness in your pain, but it's not going to make it go away. So you need to go get that said problem fixed, if that makes sense. And that another
Absolutely does. No,
question
I
just
feel
related to that is they typically last about 2 days, the patches, but also depends on how active you are and how much you sweat and or you got to keep it dry. So some people will take it off before they take a shower, and then it might not apply as well as it did before they took it off. So they put a band-aid on it or something like that to help it extend
okay.
its period. But if the ink goes away, that's where the magic stuff is stored. So if the ink goes away, it's no longer there, no longer works.
Okay. So I feel like you kind of just
Okay,
answered two of
good.
my more questions, but I'm going to ask it again. So there is it is allowed, I guess, to you can take these off and reapply the
You
same
can, and
patch.
just be cognizant of the ink. If the ink is still there, then it's still there. Then it's still active. So
Okay. Okay. Of the 14 patches, besides pain, because I
yeah,
feel like that's like
that's the
top of
bad
my
boy.
top. Which one have you really found to be the most effective, or the one that people resonate with
Yeah,
the
the
most?
allergy one is really
Okay.
interesting. That's probably the most effective one that that almost everybody. I very rarely do I hear anybody that says, "Man, this just did not work for me." Whereas the pain one,
Okay.
sometimes people say, "Yeah, it didn't do anything for my pain," but that is our biggest seller. So we have literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of awesome testimonials related to that product. But then neuropathy, for strangely enough, is like just going through the roof. So I don't know if neuropathy is all of a sudden just becoming a big problem, or people are just noticing
Yeah.
it more. But that one has been our most recent big seller.
One of the reasons, just to pivot from our
Okay,
rapid
cool.
fire section a little bit, I do have one more for you. But when you said neuropathy, it triggered a thought in my head. One of the main reasons why this company stood out to me the most is because when you reached out to me, I was actually talking to my aunt, and my aunt has been really dealing with
Oh,
bad
wow.
neuropathy. And just between going to specialists here, specialists there, they've been telling her to do this, telling her to do that, on top of having to take care of her husband, my uncle, just the same. Like, it has not been easy for her. And she said that it's just a sensation that can happen at any moment that really takes her down sometimes. She can't
Oh,
even
no.
drive long distances, everything like that. So to really hear, when I heard this and when I saw that and when I saw that y'all had a patch just for that, I said, I'm sending it to her. I'm gonna call her first and not just send any random thing to her house, but I'm gonna have her, one, listen to this episode, go through the website, look at everything. But I was just like, wow, the fact that, look at just the relevance of that, or look at the timeliness on that we were talking about this. And at first I really felt like I didn't really have much to offer her other than,
Right.
just prayers and just listening to her, hearing her, telling her to take it easy, all the things that people would say not in
Right.
that position. But the fact that I can't, that I'm following up with you after the specialist, telling you even to look at different specialists per se of everything. But the fact that you have a product that is geared towards that is hitting that, one, is it lets me know that it's become something that more
Yeah,
people are dealing with. Two, it also lets me know that it's become something that not only people are dealing with, but they can't necessarily find a solution or can't necessarily find the right thing that
that's right.
works for them. Because while I feel, yes, we deal with a lot of the same things:
Yeah.
energy, clarity and focus, just being sleepy, pain, allergies, everything of the sort. I feel like it hits us in different waves and different stages. Like for me, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I thought that, and I may have disclosed this on previous episodes, I thought that allergies were something that you were either born with or that was it. Like if you didn't have any allergies, you were okay. Well, it wasn't until I got to Greenville, North Carolina, my
Right.
junior year, and the pollen was covering everything, and I'm just looking out my window and I'm sneezing. My nose is backed up. I can't. I'm just like, so I tap on my roommate's door at the time. I said, hey, can you just develop allergies? Like, yeah, bro. Like he said, I actually developed mine like not recently, but more so like middle school, high school. I said, I think I'm having
Right.
allergies right now,
Right.
like, or I think I have. So it's crazy really to hear how everything affects everyone. But no, my aunt was somebody who is somebody obviously very near
Yeah.
and dear to my heart, but somebody that really just made me resonate with this company that much more because, like I was even telling people in the beginning, some of these may not be
Right.
geared towards you, but you may know somebody else, a family member, a friend, a coworker, everything. So I just love that, and I really had to say that I love that y'all are highlighting the neuropathy.
Damn.
So still along these lines, now, last question for you. So when it comes to, we talked about even the pets, what you're trying to do in that. We talked about the buzz off. What area right now, if you could make a patch for, would you do it? What would be that 15
Yeah,
patch if
I
you could?
mean, honestly, that's an awesome question. I haven't been asked that question, but if I let me just think about that for a minute. So if I could, find a pill for something that would really help people in the what's going on in the world today, I would love something that would help with maybe the stuff that's going on with the vaccinations and things. That there's lots of people that are having issues with what people call spike proteins and other things like that. If we could just help alleviate some of those symptoms that people are having with those side effects, I think that would be just amazing. But we are working with holistic doctors who have supplements and other things that help with some of those. But I think that would probably be the thing. But it's like, who knows? In like 2 months, it might be something totally different, right? But great question. Sorry, I fumbled on it, but I think
Oh,
that would be my
I love it.
probably my best answer.
That's why I love rapid fire, because it's like it's not even a fumble. It's like
Right.
that's what's on your mind right then and there. But the beauty of it is that, like you said, a month from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, something could happen. It could change, and you could be in a totally different state of mind. So no, you did amazing. I love that a lot. Now, the
Yeah.
affiliate program. As I was telling people before we got started, you got me excited with the affiliate program, with the possibilities, what really can come from this, and how this is really just, as we called it, just a
Right.
win-win for everyone, from consumer to affiliate to QE Strong. So, for everyone out there, for everyone who is going to come across the website in some capacity, is interested in the products in some capacity, is interested in QE Strong in some capacity, what can they expect when tapping into the and finding out more
Yeah,
information
that's
about the
awesome.
affiliate
So
program?
great question. One of the things we do with this affiliate program that's so awesome is that we give everybody a win, right? So if you're interested in these products, go to qestrong.com, and when you check out, use the coupon code D2B, right? So that's down to business, right? And I set up a code specifically for Tamar because we want to have a good relationship where I'm helping him and then he's helping you as the consumer because we're going to give you 15% discount on anything that you order. So you win, Tamar wins, and then we win by getting the word out. So it's just an awesome program, and I invite people that are in business to think about those affiliate programs because we set up a nice program where tomorrow we're gonna send him every few weeks we're gonna send him like a new social media post, right? Maybe it's about neuropathy one week, and maybe a few weeks later we'll send him a pain one, but it's gonna have his discount code on it. So Tamar's busy, right? He's doing all these different things and working. He's like he doesn't have time to go say, oh geez, I need to create a social media post for my affiliate and shoot, now how do they spell this name, and where do I find an image for allergies, and it just takes time to do that. So we package everything up for him, and then we're gonna send it to him every few weeks, and then all he has to do is say look at it and make sure it's something he agrees with and likes, and then he can post it. And then the great thing about that is as people see it and they go to our website and buy the product, they get a discount, and then Tamar gets credit for it as well. So he gets some funding for his podcast, right? He's spending a lot of time and effort and money to bring all this awesome information to you, and he needs a way in order to keep doing it. He needs to have funding for his business, and so it really helps fund helps fund my business, and helps the customer getting off of big pharma drugs. So you're helping somebody, and that is what's cool about our product line is okay. You say, geez, I don't have any of those problems, but guess what? I know someone who does, right? So why don't you be that blessing and get some for somebody and send it to them? And then even the most beautiful thing is if it doesn't work, send it back. We've got a 60-day money back guarantee. So geez, what do you have to lose? Nothing, right? You tried it. Maybe it doesn't work for you. Fine. No questions asked. We send your money back. So it's an awesome way to try these new products and help people along the way and help Tamar build his business, help me build my business, and it's just one of those social justice things, not justice, but just social benefits, right? Everybody benefits in the circle. So I think that's the way we should be doing business as entrepreneurs. I think we should benefit everybody along the way. So there you go. Long-winded answer to that question, Tamar.
I love it. No, but that was informative, man. I love that, and I just it's exciting. It's as I was telling you in the beginning, we always do something here. Rob was very gracious enough to bless us with our own promo code. So that is the letter D, the number 2, and then the letter B. So down to business. So like he said, even if it's
Right.
not you necessarily getting the patches, you know someone who knows someone. You may be sitting right next to someone who's dealing with it. You may even share this interview or the website with someone, and they may resonate with a patch that you had no idea, or something that they may be struggling from or dealing with, or they may even hear that big pharma and be trying to get out, or they may not know any better and really just want to try something new. So it doesn't hurt to try. And then, like he said, the best of all, you're not satisfied, you don't like it. 60 days, 2 months, more than enough time. Send it back. You'll get the refund just the same. So, but we're not we're not even really going to think about the 60-day part, because all of this that we're harnessing, all of this that we're talking about, we're manifesting, we're speaking about, it's going to happen. It's going to work. So I love that a lot. Now, before we get into where people can find you, the website again, and everything of the sort, do you feel like there's any last words that you want to leave out there for business owners, for entrepreneurs, for creatives, for even people in the big pharma space, even people who there's been a lot of mistrust, especially within the minority community
Yeah.
around healthcare and just drugs, pharma and COVID and everything of the sort. Is there anything out there that you just want to leave for the people to even give them even more of insight than you've already given into QE Strong and into really the mission behind what
Yeah,
everyone
I
is
love
doing
it.
and the
Thank you
team
so
that
much
they're
for the opportunity, right? This has been amazing. So there is a lot of information on our website, QEstrong.com, which is an amazing resource to help you with these. And then I just have a big heart for people to help them with their faith and their health. So literally, I've created a new newsletter called myfaithandhealth.com. So it's simple, myfaithandhealth.com, and in that we're highlighting a faith issue and a health issue every episode, every week, and then we highlight a mighty man and a majestic woman who are helping, right, in this world. And so it's really cool. We have Bible trivia that's part of it. It's a really fun thing to do and fun thing to share and compete with your friends or family. But the most important part is the awesome information in it. One of the things you mentioned early on, Tamar, was about water, right, and how important water is to our bodies, right? We're made up of 60% water. So, I mean, I could just go on and on about these health topics, and we delve deep into those and just say, hey, here's what you should be doing, right? And so you can go look and say, oh, geez, I remember there was something about hot and cold therapy, right? Geez, let me go see what Rob was mentioning about that. And why is that helpful? And what are the research articles behind that? You know, and I have all that stuff in this newsletter. So it's an awesome resource. So I invite people to join that newsletter. It's free. It's simple, and it gives you a ton of good information. You get it once a week. And if you need to research stuff, you can go to the website and find it there. And so that's I think the last thing I want to end with is I'm here to help you with your faith and your health. And God bless you, and thanks for listening.
I love that, man. I love from the time we started. Like I said, man, I'm so glad that we were able to just reconnect and reschedule this, and I'm so glad that I waited to use everything that you sent me because now it's just going to be that much more. It
Yeah,
just
very
means
much
so much
so.
more,
Yep.
and now that I'm able to kind of put some knowledge with it and put the faith behind it and everything of the sort, man, I'm really excited from the affiliate program to just people tapping into this episode and everything of the sort. So now, last but certainly not least, for everybody coming across this, can you just tell us best places to reach you, the website again, everything of the sort,
Yeah,
all
sounds
things
great.
QE
So
Strong
QE
related?
Strong is simple. It's the letter Q and the letter E for quantum energy. Just so think about that, QE and then strong, right? QEstrong.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. The site is there. All 14 products are on there, and you can share it with your friends and family. And then if you want to get help with all natural health solutions, go to myfaithandhealth.com, and you'll see that in a few weeks from now. When you listen to this, we're going to have a podcast of our own. My brother and I are creating My Faith and Health podcast that I don't want you to not watch tomorrow, but if you ever are interested in that, you can come check us out. You'll be able to find us on all the podcast sites as well. So those are the three ways to get a hold of me.
Well, if someone as someone who watches themselves, I'm encouraging everybody. I'm going to be watching My Faith and Health, so I hope y'all are going to be tapping in with me just the same. So, no, Rob, thank you, thank the team, your brother, everything that everyone is doing out there to just focus more on taking away the emphasis on big pharma and really just thinking holistically, thinking about self, thinking about being intentional behind things. Rob, I love the work that you're doing, but more than that, I love the passion behind the that you have for the work that you're doing because I think that really is what gears it. You can have an amazing product all day long. You can do amazing things, but if you don't really have that passion, if the love is not there, if it's not really based off of, and even coming from a place of
Right.
faith, like you said, if it's not that, then you'll quickly see the disingenuousness behind the product and just not the true authenticity. So
Thank
I
you.
really do have to commend you. I really do love everything that y'all are doing. I'm excited to see the future patches. I'm excited to see 14 change to 20 or whatever may happen with QB Strong in the future. But really just taking my hat off to you, taking my hat off to everyone and all the work that's being put in. So to everyone out there who continuously listens, taps in, the people who joined us today on Instagram Live and gave some great feedback, the people who will come across this episode and see it and learn and want to sign up for the affiliate program and use the code, anything of the sort. I thank y'all. I love y'all. This has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner.